Have you ever wondered how our brain processes information? It's a fascinating journey that begins with a sensory input and ends with an output, a behavior. But what exactly happens in between? How does our brain take raw data from our surroundings and transform it into meaningful information? Let's dive in. Picture your brain as a sophisticated and complex computer system. Cognitive psychologists often use this metaphor to explain how we process information. This computer, your brain, has two main components: the hardware and the software. The hardware is the actual physical brain, while the software is the mental representations or clues that help us make sense of the world around us. The information processing journey starts with an input. This is the raw sensory information we receive from our environment. Imagine seeing a flying object. That's your sensory stimulus, the input. It's like a cryptic code that needs to be deciphered. This raw data is pushed to the information processor, your mind, in the brain's hardware. This part of the process is known as bottom-up processing. Bottom-up processing is like sending a coded message to a decoder. Your mind is that decoder. It takes the raw sensory input and begins to assign meaning to it using the clues or mental representations stored in your brain's software. Now, let's move on to the next stage of the process. Top-down processing. This is where your mind connects the sensory input with the mental representations to come up with the final answer. The flying object you saw? Your brain, using the clues stored in its software, deciphers the code and identifies the object. Perhaps it's a bird or a plane or even Superman. Finally, there's an output. This is the behavior that results from the processed information. Maybe you decide to duck because the object is flying low, or perhaps you point it out to a friend. This output is the end product of a complex and fascinating journey of information processing in your brain. To recap, information processing in our brain involves three main steps. First, there's an input, the raw sensory data from our environment. This data is processed in a bottom-up manner, where it's sent to our mind to assign meaning to the stimulus. Then, there's top-down processing, where our mind connects the sensory input with stored mental representations to come up with a final answer. And lastly, there's an output, a behavior that results from the processed information. So, the next time you see a flying object and your brain quickly identifies what it is, remember the incredible journey that information has taken through your brain. From a raw sensory input to a meaningful output, it's a testament to the remarkable capabilities of our cognitive processes.